there's two pieces there. There's like a fundamental way that we make steel that needs to change, and two, there's an energy efficiency bit where it's like, okay, how can we become more energy efficient in the way that we're making our steel, so that when we do decarbon, so that when we do have hydrogen reduction, and we have that becomes ubiquitous in how we make steel, we need to be able to do it with less energy. Otherwise, it's going to be super expensive. And that's where tech like deep meta comes in. It comes in the it comes in the short run to try and manage the issue with capex, i.e., the capex that's slowing the transition to these new technologies, new ways of making steel, and also in the long run when energy efficiency becomes very important in this industry. It is already, but it will become more so when all their energy is being pulled from the grid. And in the short run, it has an impact because, like I mentioned, these companies, they don't have that much money to actually invest in new infrastructure. And so we've got to try and find ways to make them more efficient today, to help them to reduce their energy consumption and subsequently their carbon emissions. So how can we do that in a cost-effective way? When we go across that whole production line, the wastage at each incremental stage comes to up to about a quarter of all steel produced in an average plant, say that is making around 3 million tons of steel a year.
Wow, wow. Okay, can we
And
pause there?
so,
Because I mean, that's a big headline figure, isn't it? 25% on average is waste. So we're making this material which generates loads of CO2 just through the chemical reaction used to create it, and 25% of that is waste. What does that roughly add up to, like globally? Like how much steel is produced
yeah.
globally?
So on a global scale, we got like 1.8 billion tons that are made every year. Um, One way I like to help people imagine it, even though it's still quite difficult to perceive, is that that's enough steel to build all those skyscrapers in Manhattan, New York, 100,000 times. Um, so like we make a huge ton of this stuff every year. About half of this goes into the construction space, which is not surprising. And so yeah, it's there's a big deficit on CO2, as in when it comes to looking at CO2 impact in the built environment. If you were to have some kind of a if there was to be some kind of accounting system for, your assets and liabilities of carbon dioxide, when it comes to the construction industry, they're very much like in the negative because they just have inherited so much carbon dioxide from just making the stuff in the first place before they even get to make their buildings.